Most times we try to undermine, or do I say minimize, our pain or trauma, because most times we try to compare it to that of other people, which shouldn't be. Everybody's pain or trauma, whatever you pass through in life, is personal, is tailored to you. But most times we find that we try to compare it to other people's pain or trauma, and because of that, we use it as a yardstick to whether it is higher than that or lower than that, and then we undermine our own trauma or pain, which shouldn't be. But the truth is that if that pain, the trauma you pass through, now shapes your life, your reactions, your emotions, your decisions, then it probably needs more attention that you're giving it. Because the truth is that every pain or every trauma, no matter how little, no matter how big it will seem, we think it is, as long as it's affecting your decisions, it leaves a mark. Every pain leaves a mark in the soul. And now the thing with this mark is that if it is not healed, if we don't invite the Holy Spirit into it to heal it, this will be guiding our life. It will be affecting our relationships, our decision, everything about our life, even our self-image. It will be affecting it. That is why we should not be undermining our pain. We should not be undermining our trauma. For every bit of it leaves a mark in the soul. Don't forget that the trauma, whatever the emotions you're passing through, whatever that was affected is in the realm of the soul. Is in the realm of the soul, and it's gonna be, your soul is basically who you are. So whatever that happens leaves a mark in the soul. Now, so basically trauma is not like big events, maybe like death, divorce, loss of a loved ones, no, or accident. Trauma is anything that at that point that is happening overwhelmed your ability to cope with it. So it could be things as little as being shamed. You know, that time when we were little, when we were in school, you have people that actually say things that they shouldn't say to you. Maybe like, look at how you're looking, or they feel like you're not beautiful enough. Maybe your nose is not looking pointed like their nose. All of that, most of us felt it. I experienced it in school. Those things, as little as they may seem, leaves a mark in the soul. Now, even things as little as saying no to a child, I've got children, things as saying no to a child, even though you are supposed to say no to them, but because of the nature of the soul, those things can leave a mark in the soul. Those things can actually cause a fragmentation of the soul. So what usually happens is that at that point of the trauma, what happens, because of the innocence of the soul, the nature of the soul is whatever such things that it labels as a trauma or pain happens, the soul tries to protect you. And one of the ways the soul tries to do this is that the soul will try to break apart from the whole. Now, when it breaks apart from the whole, that thing you're feeling from that event or from that pain or from that trauma, that part of the soul that broke off from the whole will now try to hold that in. Let's assume the shame, the pain, that part of the soul that broke off from the whole will try to hold it on. Do you understand? So it's more like the soul in its innocence trying to protect the whole. So now what usually happens, that part of the soul that held off that pain, let's assume the person experienced this pain when they were 3 years or 4 years. That part of the soul that experienced this is gonna be stuck at that age. Let me just use that word. It's gonna be stuck at 3 years. Now the other part of the soul, the person will move on with their life, but that part of the soul that is stuck at 3 years will still be there. So what usually happens as the person progresses through life, now we are going to go deep into this in subsequent videos, because I don't want each video to be too long, so I'm going to be breaking it off, so because I want you to follow suit. This is a video I'm going to be doing about the soul healing, soul fragmentation, and how demons attach to our soul and mess up our lives, cause diseases, cause torments, a lot of things, because this is part of bringing us into deliverance, into wholeness, into living into that freedom that Christ has died to give us. Now please, if you're already enjoying this video, please don't forget to like, subscribe and share. I noticed that a lot of people that are watching this video don't like, don't share, don't even subscribe. So please, I encourage you, because this is part of you helping to spread the gospel of God, because a lot of people are under bondage, they don't even know it. A lot of people are suffering from soul fragmentation and oppression from the demons that they are not even aware of it. So this is part of trying to help others. And even you watching the video, if you're not even aware of this, because most people are not even aware of this, so I'm going to take us in depth into this, because I'm into soul healing and deliverance. So God has actually instructed me to actually do these videos just to bring the awareness and to lead people into that deliverance. So let's get back to what we are saying. So basically, when this thing now happens, that part of the soul will hold off this pain, trying to protect the whole. So you find out that later in life, when the person, let's assume something happens to you, when the person has now grown up and something happens, you find out that something will happen to the person, there will be a trigger, and the person will react so much more than what has happened. Let's assume somebody just did something that angered you. what will happen? Because it's a trigger, and that part of you that experienced a similar thing is still there. So that child, that part of the soul that was fragmented, will now want to respond. It's not even respond, it's going to react. So the thing is that the reaction from that fragmented aspect of your soul will be so much big when you compare it to what actually happened at that point. You will be like, there's no comparison, because the reaction will be so much so high that you'll be wondering what's happening. So let me tell you what's happening. What is happening is that part of your soul that was fragmented that time is coming to the forefront. It was triggered, and it's coming to the, because it was not healed. Because as long as it's not healed, it's going to be there, and it's going to be trying to call any chance it gets, any trigger, it comes to the forefront, and then it's going to react with respect to its understanding when it happened, in terms of it was a child, so it's going to be reacting like a child. Do you even understand what I'm trying to say? Don't worry, I'm going to take this in bits because I need you to get it. So we're going to be getting it in bits. I'm going to go into deep. This is the foundation. I'm just trying to lay the foundation on this. So don't worry, we're going to go deep because it's a very serious issue when it comes to our Christian life that we all need to deal with. So that is what happens where people are going about with a lot of fragmented aspect of their soul, inner child that has not been healed. Okay, so now this is the basics of it. So basically, when we ignore these wounds, it's more like when somebody has a big cut, a wound on their body, and they cover it up so soon. Now, even at the first surface, it might look so good, completely covered, but inside, that pain is still fresh in there. That's how it happens. So basically, when anything happens, when life happens and it touches that part, the reaction will skyrocket like this. You'll be wondering. So eventually, what needs to happen is to allow God to heal. Bible says in Psalm 147 verse 3 that God heals the brokenhearted. That is God really saying that. Even in Psalm 23 verse 3, it says that God restores our soul. That is God trying to bring different aspects of that fragmented aspect of the soul into wholeness. So basically, what is required of us is invite God into that part of our soul and be like, God, heal me. I invite you into every fragmented aspect of my soul, that my soul will be gathered together, back together to wholeness, that I won't be reacting to things. Because once that part of the soul is fragmented, that is when you give the foot, the enemies can come in and be tormenting us in different ways. Like I said, we are going to go specifically into details about how demons leverage this fragmented aspect of our souls to torment us, to bring sicknesses, and how we can walk ourselves through deliverance and live the fullness of the life that Christ came to give us. And so I will end this video here. I hope this blessed you. Until next time, keep shining that beautiful life of you, a beautiful light of yours. Now remember, you can book your purpose clarification call with me, where we sit down to prophetically to ask God concerning your life. You can also book your soul healing sections with me, where we walk through different fragments of your soul and invite the Holy Spirit to come in and bring together back to wholeness those different fragmented aspects of your soul, that you may walk in wholeness. And so God bless you. Keep shining. Until next time, Auf Wiedersehen.